Hello, Jordan Burris here. Today's November the 22nd, and on this date in 1968, the Beatles would release their 9th studio album entitled The Beatles, although it's more famously known today as The White Album. The White Album would get its famous moniker from the album's completely white album cover, ornamented only by the embossed words The Beatles, also in white. The album's 30 songs cover a wide range of genres from blues to rock and roll, to country to folk, to ragtime and avant-garde. The variety of musical styles led to a less cohesive collection than the band's 1967 concept album, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. The lack of cohesion could also be blamed on the fragmenting of the personal relationships between the band members. The recording sessions were fraught with constant arguments, bickering, and was also the first in-studio appearance of John Lennon's new love interest, Yoko Ono. Up until this point in the band's history, outsiders were not allowed in the studio during recording sessions. John's adamant inclusion of Yoko during the recording sessions began to break down the lines of communication between he and Paul McCartney, which would signal the beginning of the end for the lads from Liverpool. The album was released in Britain on November 22, 1968, to commercial and critical success. However, in the years since the release, the love and lore of the album have grown exponentially. To many Beatle fanatics, the White Album is the favorite offering from the group, and it is widely considered one of the greatest albums of all time. It is also certified 24 times platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America. Upon its initial release, the first 5 million copies of the White Album were stamped with a serial number on the front cover. Serial numbers 1 through 4 would go to the 4 members of the Beatles, Ringo Starr receiving number 1. In 2008, Ringo Starr decided to sell his coveted first edition of the White Album to raise money for the Lotus Foundation, a social welfare charity that he and his wife Barbara had founded. Serial number 0000001 of the album, The Beatles, also known as The White Album, would go to auction and net a record amount $790,000. And so, to commemorate the release of The White Album, I hope you'll enjoy this rendition of Obladi Oblada.
Desmond has a barrow in the marketplace. Molly is a singer in the band. Desmond says to Molly, girl, I like your face. And Molly says this as she takes him by the hand. Obladi, oblada, life goes on. Honey, honey, life goes on. Desmond takes a trolley to the jewelry store, buys a 20-carat golden ring, takes it back to Molly waiting at the door, and as he gives it to her, she begins to sing. Obladi, oblada, life goes on. Honey, honey, life goes on. Obladi, oblada, life goes on. Honey, honey, life goes on. In a couple of years, they have built a home, sweet home. Kids running in the yard, Desmond and Molly Jones, happy ever after in the marketplace. Desmond lets the children lend a hand. Molly stays at home and does a pretty face, and in the evening she's still singing with the band. Obladi, oblada, life goes on. Honey, honey, life goes on. Obladi, oblada, life goes on. Honey, honey, life goes on. In a couple of years they have built a home, sweet home, with a couple of kids running in the yard, Desmond and Molly Jones, happy ever after in the marketplace. Desmond lets the children lend a hand. Molly stays at home and does a pretty face, and in the evening she's still singing with the band. Obladi, oblada, life goes on. Honey, honey, life goes on. Obladi, oblada, life